In the last episode of Solo Leveling Season 2, we saw Jinho extract Bingo's shadow and heal Choco, then cancel the extraction, then the rest of the hunters except Jinho depart by helicopter. Jinho kills the remaining ants and then extracts the Ant King's shadow, naming him Bayarav. Together they eliminate all the ants on the island. 2 days later the raid ends and a funeral is held for those who died in the raid. Jinho also attends the event. He meets the chairman who grants him permission to form a new guild. Afterward, First Monarch and Beast Monarch appear on JG Island searching for someone, but when they don't find him, they leave. Jinho's father is also seen there. Jinho is trapped in a red gate, but his army is easily killing all the monsters. Now let's move on to the next episode. But before that, you guys watch the video but don't like or subscribe. So please like and subscribe today. This little support from you motivates us to bring even better content. So do it quickly. But now, without wasting any time, let's move on to the episode. Season 3, Episode 1 begins, and we see a hunter inside a dungeon. Suddenly, a monster appears before him. It's none other than Frostmar, who we saw in the last episode of Season 2. He came here in search of a fragment of light, but he finds nothing here either. I don't know who the fragment of light is. This hasn't been revealed yet, but I know, but I won't give away spoilers right now. If you know, please let me know in the comments. Just then, another monarch arrives. He looks quite strange and ape-like. They're talking about a place in the east where the Shadow Monarch is. Basically, they're talking about Jin. Then the second monarch says, the greatest fragment of light is also in that country. Just then the Frost Monarch senses a strong presence, and we see another hunter approaching. Guess who it could be? Frost Monarch realizes it was his ploy to lure us here. The hunter then says, are you guys talking about Korea? The Frost Monarch replies, even if we are talking, what do you care? Meanwhile, the second monarch opens a portal and tells the Frost Monarch, we don't have time for all this. The Frost Monarch also says, stop us if you can, and starts to leave. The hunter declares, I won't let you go so easily, and attacks. But the Frost Monarch creates an ice wall to block his attack. We learn that this hunter is none other than Jinho's father. The scene shifts and we are shown a red gate that Jinho entered. There he faces the dungeon's boss. The boss is furious and says, you fought well so far and are still alive. But now you're surrounded. My army is already hiding all around this forest. He then calls out to his army, but no one arrives for a long time. Jinho smiles and tells his shadow army to come out, and we see that Jinho's shadow soldiers have already killed all the monsters and they emerge, carrying their dead bodies. This enrages the boss even more. He then orders his remaining monsters to attack. But Jinho also sends out his shadow soldiers. Jinho's shadow soldiers easily kill all the monsters. Only the boss remains. Enraged by this, he moves forward to attack Jinho. But then Tusk uses his gravity magic and throws him to the ground. Jinho then goes to the boss and says, if you answer my questions correctly, maybe you'll feel less pain. But the boss dies before he can say anything. Jinho realizes the system is interfering again. Then he remembers after clearing the demon castle, he received the key that could only be used after reaching level 100, because after the Jeju Island raid, he had already reached level 100. He takes the key out of his inventory and all the information about it appears before him. He discovers that the key belongs to the temple containing the double dungeon, the same double dungeon where Jinho gained his power. This is a significant revelation for Jinho because he knew nothing about the system that made him so strong, and whenever he tried to learn about it, the system interfered. But now finally the system itself was calling him. He thinks, well, finally I'll be able to learn about the system. But then he sees that it has a timer of 417 hours. This means he can't use it yet. He thinks since he's waited so long, a little more is fine. Then the scene shifts and we see Jinho furious because Jinho's haters are spreading hate online. He's replying to them. Just then Jinwoo arrives. He hands Jinho a bag full of essence stones and says, you said we'll need a lot of money for the new guild. So this much will do. Jinho replies, that's a lot. Have you cleared any high-rank gates? Now we won't even have to think about salaries for new employees. Jinho replies, oh yes, I forgot about employees. We'll also have to find a new employee for the new guild. Jinho says, yes, that's true, but before that, have you thought of a name for our guild yet? The two then discuss the name. Just then Jinho asks, what would the name Solo Play Guild be? Jinho doesn't like the name at all, but he doesn't say anything. He wonders to himself, is this a joke? Who would name their guild like that? Just then the doorbell rings. Jinho opens the gate and there's Hunter Cha. Jinho is shocked, but she's come to meet Jinho. Jinho asks, why are you here? Cha replies, I want to join your guild. Jinho asks, did the chairman send you here or did Jungit expel you from his guild? Cha replies, no, nothing like that. Jino asks, then why do you want to join our solo play guild? Cha is shocked. She asks, are you really naming your guild solo play? Jinho says yes, our vice guild master and I decided together. Jino says, wait, when did I decide? And what about the name I suggested, huh? Jino says, you didn't say anything, so I thought you agreed. Jino notices Cha's heartbeat is very fast, but she's acting normal. He suspects she's hiding something. Jino says, you're still under contract with your old guild. How can you join our guild? Cha says, I'll pay them a penalty for breaking the contract, whatever the amount. Jino becomes even more skeptical. He thinks she's willing to pay such a huge penalty just to join his guild. Jino says, we don't have the money to pay a salary for a SG hunter like you. Cha says, I don't even want a salary. Jino asks then, why do you want to join our guild? She starts blushing. The truth is, she fell in love with Jino, but she couldn't confess. That's why she just wanted to be with him. But she couldn't say anything, she just kept blushing. Jino says, okay, you can join. But first you have to take an entrance test. Cha asks what kind of test. Jino says, you have to defeat the strongest shadow soldier I've chosen. Cha says, okay, I'm ready. Then the two plan to go to the Hunter Association gym for the entrance test. But the gym is quite far away, so Jin decides to use the shadow exchange skill. This will also help him find out if he can teleport someone else with him. He then calls Cha closer and uses the shadow exchange skill, and it works and they both teleport to the gym together aged. Cha is surprised to see how this happened. Jino says, let's get started now. But Cha says, wait a minute, I left my weapon in the office. She then retrieves the sword from the gym's house storage room and says, I'm ready now. Jino summons Igris and says he's the best swordsman in my shadow army. She asks how the winner will be decided. Jino says, unless you destroy my shadow soldier or you surrender yourself, fine. Jino thinks I told Cha I'd use my strongest shadow soldier, eyeshadow. But it wouldn't be right to bring Baru in front of Cha, but Cha was so badly injured because of him on Jeju Island. That's why Igris was the best choice. Their fight then begins. Their shots collide, causing a loud explosion. We then see the chairman, who is also in the building, hear the sound. He's thinking that no hunter had reserved the gym today. Then he checks the gym's camera and sees Jin, Jino, and Cha. He wonders when and why they came here. Then they remember that as soon as Cha regained consciousness after the Jeju Island raid, the first thing she asked about was Jino. The chairman suspects something is going on between the two. That's why he turns off the gym camera, not wanting to record their private moment. Just then the building starts shaking and the painting behind them falls due to the fight. But the chairman misunderstands. I don't need to tell you what he's thinking. So tell me in the comments what the German thinks. Hence, on the other side we see Cha defeating Igris easily. Jino is shocked. Cha asks, was this Black Knight your strongest soldier? He said you would use your strongest soldier, so summon him. She's talking about Beru. But Jino says you might get hurt. Cha says nothing like that will happen, and I have to fight him again anyway. So Jino finally summons Beru and gives him an order to defeat Cha. Defeat Cha without harming her. Beru says, as you say, my king. Then he roars loudly, shattering all the glass in the gym. Cha looks at him thinking that Jino fought this monster. Beru extends his claws and is about to attack. But Jino says, remove them. Otherwise, if Cho gets even slightly hurt, I won't spare you. Beru immediately digs in his claws and says, yes, my king. Cha prepares to attack, but suddenly Beru appears behind her. Cha remembers what she did on Jeju Island. She asks, do you think I'll fall for the same trick again? She then immediately attacks with her sword, but Beru blocks the attack with just 2 fingers. Beru thinks, my king told me to defeat my opponent without hurting him. So the best way to do this would be to make myself appear so strong that the opponent loses the will to fight. Chak was launching one attack after another. Now you all know how fast Chak fights. But Beru is no less. He was dodging all the attacks with ease. He too was dodging them with just his body movement without moving from one place. Then he laid in a powerful blow to Cha's face, the pressure which set Cha reeling away. Jino said the winner has already been decided. Are you satisfied now? But Cha replied, no, I want to fight more. Jino knew that Beru was very different from his other shadow soldiers and he was born solely for killing. But Jino saw that Bishi was suppressing his killing intent. Their fight resumed. But this time Beru wasn't just offending but also attacking. Because of this, Cha's shot also breaks. But Cha doesn't give up. She decides to use her strongest attack and end the fight once and for all. Then she forms a blade of light and this time finally lands her attack on Beru. A blade penetrates Beru's chest. It's then that we see that this attack causes Beru to no longer control his killing instinct and he becomes completely enraged. He remembers the Ant Queen's words. He forgets Jino's orders and follows her orders of, I have to kill my enemy. Beru, covered in blood dust, begins to advance towards Cha. Jino shouts for him to stop, but he doesn't listen. Jino quickly intervenes and stops him. Only then does Beru calm down and immediately falls to the ground, apologizing. Jino asks Cha, are you okay? He then replies, it was just an entrance stage. Why did you have to risk your life just for this? But Cha remains silent and doesn't say anything. Then Jinho asks, why do you want to join my guild? What do you want? Is it possible that you're interested in me? But then he thinks that's impossible. There must be something else. He starts to leave. Just then Cha says, yes, I am interested in you. With that, she blushes and the episode ends.